There's already a mock draft out. Field Yates put out a mock draft.
Oh, yeah.
This is going to go horizontally and then down. So 1 to 4, as you see, because you might be saying, wait, Caleb Downs too. So Field just threw teams out there. Don't get caught up on where he projects your team. He's a nice guy. Field Yates is not going to have a crystal ball and tell you exactly where it's going to be. The more important thing is the players. So I like seeing this because it's 32 names for me to kind of watch this season if I'm an NFL fan. And you go across here, he's got Arch Manning as the number 1 overall pick and Lenoris Sellers as the 2. Klubnik the 3. I'm looking for Nussmeier.
16.
All the way down at 16. I was told Nussmeier is going to be the guy. Is this controversial that Nussmeier is all the way down there?
Well, so first off, for Field, unlike this year, he has 6 quarterbacks here in the first 16 picks, 5 in the first 11 picks of next year's draft. It has been touted as one of the better quarterback drafts in years. Obviously, last year people were saying was not one of the best quarterback drafts in recent years. But no, everything that I heard coming out of the Manning Passing Academy was that Arch Manning and Lenoris Sellers were in a different category from the rest of everyone else. They said that Arch and Lenoris, the way the ball comes off their hand, how big they are, the way they carry themselves, they were in a different tier. And then it was that the Garrett Nussmeier, Cade Klubnik tier. I didn't hear much about Sam Levitt. He popped onto the scene last year at Arizona State. He was a transfer.
He's got great moxie.
Transfer from Michigan State, but people were on high in him. And then Drew Aller, I believe, didn't go to the Manning Passing Academy, so I didn't hear a ton about him. But obviously, we know him.
He didn't go.
He's a big boy with a huge arm. He's athletic. So no, most of this,
we watched him last year.
From what I'm hearing, most of this kind of checks out as far as the quarterback.
Can I ask? This is dumb. I'm just looking at it. Where's the Florida quarterback? I love that kid.
He cannot come out yet.
He's not eligible.
He's too young.
Ineligible.
And what about
What's his name? Ladway?
Lagway.
I love that kid.
Yeah. He's a ball.
What were you saying?
He's a monster. I know Arch's grandpa basically says no way in hell he's coming out and entering the draft. And then I think Arch came out and said, I don't know where he got that from. So where are we right now with Arch? Is he going back? Is he standing? Fields just said, F it, I'm going to put him on my
a lot of us felt the way that Archie did, his granddaddy, about that Arch would be there for 2 years just because that's the Manning way. Peyton stayed till his senior year. Eli stayed till his senior year. So we figured, Arch would do the same. Now, Arch said, that's not exactly the case. He's just taking things one day at a time. And a lot of people are suggesting, just reading the tea leaves, that maybe that's based on who has the number 1 overall.
I was going to say, that
year.
could be, he may have seen Fields' mock draft and said, my grandson ain't going to play in Cleveland.
No,
okay, we wouldn't let Eli go to San Diego. I'm sure as shit not letting
go to the Jets.
Yeah, exactly. So that could be, something to talk about.
Is this unanimous on Arch Manning? I mean, because I was on with Get Up, and again, I come in as an NFL guy, and we had Heather Dinich, who is great, and Paul Feinbaum, who is great, and Jordan Rogers. And Jordan Rogers, who I respect because he does it SEC Network and watches it all, was like, Arch might be the 5th best quarterback.
Yeah,
in
I
the
think
SEC.
that's crazy. But
now I'm seeing him number 1 overall. Is that just based on speculation or
no?
What?
I think Field maybe just has a better read of the situation.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
No, there's difference between college quarterback and an NFL prospect, right?
There is for sure, 100%. But no, everything that I was Arch and Lenoris are the guys right now. But I saw another. He works for ESPN too. Matt Miller, NFL Draft Scout or whatever. He had Cade Klubnik going 1 overall. So as of right now, before the season starts, there's a lot of quarterbacks who have the potential to go.
So if you're a Browns fan and you're hearing this, there's 6 quarterbacks in the top 12. Are you really getting so worked up about Shedeur Sanders? Because gosh, we have the Jacksonville first-round pick and we have the Cleveland first-round pick. We're going to root for our team, but even if we package them and move up a couple, there might be the next guy, and we have to wait 10 months, 7 months.
Yeah, that would suck more. Interesting what you said about Feinbaum. Don't think that's the case, but
he loves Arch, right?
I have no idea. I was just talking about what you said about him.
Okay.
But Arch, though,
Got it.
the thing Arch might be thinking about, and granted, it really doesn't matter in his situation, but next year with all the Lagway hype, the 2027 draft, he is, his grandfather is claiming, with all the Lagway hype, that might be another thing too, where Arch is looking at, his situation. Maybe it is a good first overall pick this year, and he's like, well, why would I take my chances? I might as well just come out this year. I don't know, just a team that would pop in my head that has a good team around them that maybe everyone thinks is going to be good and they kind of fall off. What if Seattle has a really bad year and then all of a sudden the Seahawks are the one?
What if Stafford's back? flares up.
Yeah.
And they have a bad.
Well, then they get Anthony Richardson and go 11-6. Right?
I know we're talking. I don't think Arch is thinking about any of that. Honestly.
No.
You know, the keys are handed to him. He has all the expectation in the world. And with the people around him, his family, I'm sure they're hey, it's one play at a time. It's one game at a time. Who cares about the expectations? And you asked, was it unanimous earlier? I'm sure it's not. Especially with like the football guys, because a lot of us, we got to see it.
You want to watch it on film? I haven't seen it yet.
We've had phenoms. We've had highly rated players, and with all the things that are around him, you would definitely bet on him. Most people are bullish on him, but you still got to see it on the big time level in the SEC, playoff, how does he perform, all these different things, all the other things on the outside that come with being a franchise quarterback, even with his name. So I'm sure it's not unanimous, but if you're a betting man, he's the Heisman favorite going into the season without, first year as a starter. So the expectations are there, but a lot of people, you got to see it to believe it.
Well, to your point, too, the last two guys who were just like number one pick no matter what, Caleb Williams and Bryce Young, and it was C.J. Stroud and Jaden Daniels right behind him.
Yep.
So, even if it is right now, everyone, Arch Manning for sure. Typically, at least the last 5 years, the for sure number one pick has been the one that has taken much longer versus the the number twos that come in that maybe aren't the unanimous. C.J. Stroud's thing was that he did bad on that fake test.
The SQ or the S2 or whatever.
Jaden Daniels' thing
S2
test
was his age and his elbow and all that stuff. So
and his weight.
And his weight,
He's too small.